Hi, I'm Chantel with Central Perk Dream Team, and today I'm going to go over follow-ups and Happy Mail. I feel like the follow-ups and Happy Mail that we have are huge things. I love to go over it just because it is such a big, important thing for me. So I wanted to go over my examples of it. One thing with follow-ups is you can look online, you can look at videos and everything, and people will always have all of these different things that they do. They add up very quickly and they cost a lot to ship. And I know things are expensive. So one thing that I wanted to come on and talk about and record to kind of share with you guys is one thing that I learned myself. When I first started, I tried so hard to be where everybody else was, not realizing that we all start from scratch somewhere. And then over time, you can build to that if you want to, but you really don't have to. The three core things that we focus with Scentsy is the generosity, the authenticity, and then simplicity. With simplicity, you just got to think less is more sometimes. The more fluff you put in with certain things, yes, it may look pretty on the outside, but maybe it's just a little too much and people won't actually look at it either. So this is all also coming from the girl that likes confetti and glitter, but I will go over things. And again, I just really want to make sure to put in there to go off of what you can do in your current status, what your budget is, and what your income with Scentsy allows. One thing with Heidi and Orville that they always had shared is to never spend family money on Scentsy. And I think that is a huge thing to keep in mind. Scentsy is fun, and I know it's so fun to want to spoil your customers and everything, but you really sometimes need to kind of take it back and look at what you can do. So today I'm going to kind of share different options that you can do for different price budgets and price points for where I live. If you're watching this and you're not on my team, I am from Indiana. So taxes and stamps and shipping and sometimes can kind of vary state to state. So keep that in mind whenever I give price samples, but hopefully this does help. So like I've said again, follow-up is huge to me. I am a big advocate for follow-ups. Even if it is a simple text message to somebody after they order, I feel like it is a huge thing that should not be missed on. I know it is something that varies person to person, but for me personally, I really like to encourage it. So my system that I do is when somebody orders, I send them a text message to thank them. Nothing big, nothing huge. If it's a repeat customer, I will just say, hey, thanks. That really surprised me. I really appreciate it. Maybe just something little in there. If it's a new customer, I like to ask where they found my information from. If it's from a party, I tell them, that their order is helping their host get credit towards rewards. Sorry, brain fart here, Monday night. So I like to kind of make it personal, but again, just a simple text message thanking them. I like to send a text message then again after their order has arrived to make sure that they loved everything that they got, make sure nothing was damaged, because even though Scentsy packages everything great, transit happens and stuff can shift. So I always like to make sure that everything arrived like they wanted. And I want to make sure that they like the smells that they spent their money on. There's nothing, I guess, worse as a representative if you're not asking them if they like something that they have, because the people that spend the money, whether they're spending $6 on one wax bar, whether they're spending $100 on product, that may be all that they had extra for the month. So I always want to make sure that they enjoy what they get. With Scentsy, we do have that satisfaction guarantee too. So if they do have any issues, if they don't like it, if they're local, I will do an exchange myself for them. If they're not local, that's always an option. We can call Scentsy customer service to see what we can exchange it out for. So that's what I do at my 2-week mark. And then at about 2 months, 3 months, depending on how schedules go and whatnot, I reach out again and I just make sure that they don't need any stock, that they didn't have anything that was catching their eye, things like that. Usually if they're local, that's when I'll offer to add them in on a local order to get them stuff. Majority of the time, people will usually take me up on that, whether it's a wax bar, an oil, anything like that. Any way to avoid shipping costs, a lot of people are all for. I am myself. So that's always an option that you can do. If they live not locally, depending on how my month before went. So depending on my budget of what I can do things with, I will sometimes offer 10% off, a free wax bar, whatever I have to at home. It doesn't have to be something new that you're going to send them. If you're going to send them Happy Mail and pay X amount on Happy Mail shipping and stuff, you might as well throw in something that you're not using at home that you got from a flash sale or something as a gift, as a promotion, kind of as a thank you. Because a lot of people are like me and the fact that they like free, whether it's free shipping or free product. So that is my 2x2x2 that I do. If there's a flash sale in between, I'll reach out. Same with emails. But then it falls down to mail. Mail is something that is completely optional for people. I do encourage sending a little something in the mail, and I will go over different ideas again, like I said. And again, I cannot emphasize enough, there's no right or wrong. You can do something very small, and I guarantee you it's still going to make a difference to that person versus not doing anything at all. So when somebody orders from me, I do a 3-month system follow. So I have like my client profile that I got off of Amazon itself. And of course, this is actually for a hairdresser off Amazon, but I kind of make it fit for me. So what I do is I put their name up here. I put their address and phone number. There's little notes. So if there's something particular that they like, or if they said they can't do lavender or floral, something gives them headaches, I try to make note of it there. I put right here who referred them. So if they ordered under somebody's party, or if they found me at a vendor event, anything like that, I kind of put that there. The next thing that I do is right here, date. So I will put, say example, somebody orders from me June. I'll put 6/24, and then what I write here is J for July, A for August, S for September. That's what I do. So then what I do at the end of the month when I'm sending out my newsletter for the month is I go through and I see, kind of cover up this person's information here. So then I go through and I write on an envelope the person's name and address. And then I put my newsletter in there and I put a check mark next to J for July. I do it all the way there until the last one, which for this person would be September. And then come September, I put in my normal newsletter. I do my normal scented sticker, but I also put in there an insert that I made, and I can show you guys that one. And it says, "Oh no, please don't go." It kind of talks about the 3-month system and how this is their last month. I started doing this a couple of months ago. It's probably been longer than that. I feel like I've been doing it for a little while here, and I actually have seen some good feedback from that as far as people will go ahead and order that 3rd month, and then it restarts the 3-month cycle again. Or I've had a couple people reach out to me and they say, "Hey, how can I keep getting your scent of the month?" So I feel like adding this in on that 3rd month did definitely help. So I will continue doing that. But that is my 3-month system. When I first started and I was seeing what other people were doing, and when I say other people, I mean people that were making well above what I make even now as a director. And I was trying to keep up so hard until I got to the point that I was spending almost $200 a month on just my monthly mail that I was sending out. It was ridiculous because I wasn't even getting that back. And that's when I kind of thought back to myself, okay, I need to take it back a notch, see what I can do, and then go from there. And that is 100% okay to do. One thing that I learned myself, and I would like to share too with others, is if somebody is only purchasing from you because of the stuff they get from you, odds are they're not going to continue being a loyal customer, and they're going to find somebody else who will do it for them more. So, stinks to say that, but it's true. So I like my loyal customers. I love my customers that I have a relationship with, that I have kind of a connection with or whatnot. So don't ever do something to hold on to people, because there's always other competition out there that people will just move on to them. So do what you can do and only do what you can do. So for my mail that I do now for my monthly mail it is just a one forever stamp. So literally just one of these forever stamps. That's all I use on my monthly mail unless they are in the club. Right now, my club members are kind of building up. I started off with 3 and then it went to like 7, then 10. Now I have 16, which is amazing. And I love having club members. So I might have to kind of find a way to kind of bring that back a notch too. And that's okay. A lot of it is trial and error. A lot of it is depending on what you're making and how things go. But for now, this is how I do my monthly mail, unless they're in the club, and then I do the little bit more expensive mail, and I'll show that. So one of the options that you can do, I'll kind of start from the cheapest way and kind of go up from there. One of the options that you can do is a postcard. Postcards are 40 some cents. I was going to show you one of mine that I had made. I can't think of the exact cost. For some reason, 42 cents is kind of ringing in my head for a postcard. Well, I don't have one here, but so it's basically about like this size. This is something else, but it's this size here. You use a postcard stamp. You can get a whole sheet of them. It's not too expensive for a whole sheet of this. You can put a rub and sniff sticker on a postcard. You can write a little message to them, put your information on there, maybe do a picture. There are a couple of directors that they share every month on the Canva website, Canva Facebook page that we have. They'll share monthly postcards that they send to their customers. That's something that's a lot cheaper to do if you did that option, or even just to do as a thank you. It doesn't have to be a monthly thing for so many months. Even if you're just sending it as a thank you, and then just write on there, thanks for your support, thanks for your order, hope you love it. And again, scented stickers are not expensive. You can get 72 stickers for $3 on the consultant store on our workstation. So get 72 stickers, put 1 sticker on each thank you thing that you do. That's 72 postcards that you can get out for $3 here just in stickers. Also, when you sign up as a consultant, you get tons of those. Don't let them go to waste. Hand them out like candy. Hand them out like confetti. The last thing you want to do at the end of the catalog change is to have a ton of scented stickers that you're just going to be waiting until maybe they come back next year. So use those suckers up. So a postcard is going to be the first option that you can do. And again, I believe it's like 42 cents, maybe 47 cents a card. But you can get sheets of these at the post office. So that is something kind of very simple that you can do, but it's still something. So the next step that I would want to go over is the Forever Stamp, which, like I said, I do my monthly mail with this. I also will do this size mail for people that come to my vendor events and they order, or not order, but they purchase from me at vendor events. Anybody that comes to my booth, I have them enter for a drawing to win a $25 gift card. Most of the time then I have their address and their phone number and their name. So I put that in my book here of addresses, and for the 3 months following, I'll send them the mail that I do with the Forever Stamp. But immediately after the event, I also will just do a simple, again, thank you and a scent circle, and I put it in the mail. So what is a Forever Stamp going to get you? So a Forever Stamp is going to get you anything that you can fit in a standard envelope. You can even do these up to 6x9 envelopes. They do need to be flat, and it has to be under 1 ounce. I got a cheapo kitchen scale from, I think, like Family Dollar. So I got a cheapo kitchen scale that I lay my mail on before I send it out to make sure that it's under 1 ounce. But the Forever Stamp is going to get you anything that is a normal size piece of mail, flat, bendable, so it can go through their machine, and under 1 ounce. The Forever Stamp just keeps going up in price, so that kind of stinks. But I usually do it by the roll. It's like $62, maybe $64 for 100 of them. So this is what I do. And again, anybody that stops at my booth at an event, I will send something in the mail to them. And then my monthly mail, what I send out is I put my newsletter that I make and I print off. I also put, grab a couple other things. A brochure or any other little inserts that I have made, I'll put that in there. And then I will put the "oh no, please don't go" insert if it's their third month. With the Forever stamp, you could do scented stickers because those are 100% flat. They're bendable. It's perfectly fine. You could even do very small, thin felt samples. You just have to be careful to make sure that they are small enough and they're thin enough. Depending on your post carrier, if it's a little too thick, they'll send it back and tell you you need to use a different stamp. So that's kind of like a learn and go process. So from here, I'm just going to tell you strict rules, and it has to be flat. So again, scented stickers can go in this. You could do really thin felt samples in it, all of that. You have up to an ounce. These two alone, I think, are only like 0.3 ounces width of envelope. So, I mean, you could really add whatever you want in there. You could put confetti in there because trust me, your girl puts confetti and glitter and everything. So you could do that very well. I have heard people put pixie sticks in here, and yes, that's not flat, but I guess if you flatten it enough, it's gonna work. I personally have not tried that, but I have heard people say that they have done pixie sticks. Stickers are fun. You could do seasonal stickers and put those in there. As long as it's flat and it's under an ounce, you can do this. So what if you get your monthly mail, you put it all in, and it's 1.3 ounces? You don't want to use two of these because that's going to get real expensive real quick. The post office actually has additional ounce stamps. So these are less of a cost than a Forever stamp, but anything over 1 ounce, you can put either it's the bus or the rabbits. I think I'm out of the rabbit here. But you can put one of those stickers on as well with this, and then you have up to 2 ounces. So again, as long as it's flat, fill that sucker up, get it up to 2 ounces to get the most for your money. But yes, so adding this to it gets you another ounce there. Keep it flat. So if you are going to be sending something like a scent circle that is not easy to be bent, it's not going to go through the machine real well when it gets to this point. Over here, of course, it's going to bend, but it gets to this point, it's not going to bend. When I first started, I was able to send these with a Forever stamp. Now I can't. So I'm going to tell you again what you are supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. It depends on carrier, it depends on location that you're at, but the last thing you want to is a customer to write you and say, hey, what did you send me? Because I have to go to the post office and pay X amount to even get it. Is it worth it or not? So I just go the safe route now. So if you are sending a scent circle that cannot bend or something that's a little bit more thick than just like a piece of paper, they have what is called non-machinable stamps. These are a little bit more expensive than a Forever stamp. I think these are 90 some cents for one. But the non-machinery stamp basically allows funky textured stuff to be able to send to your customer or whatever without needing big bulk packaging. Again, you could do a 6x9 envelope with this. You could do a regular number 10 envelope. Put your papers in there, put whatever funky stuff you have in there that's going to be needed. Of course, it's not going to get you the ability to put like a wax cube in or anything because you still have to keep it under 1/4 inch thick. If you go to your local post office, a lot of time they'll give you like this little, like I have this plastic thing somewhere around here, but it has a slit in it so I could see if it fits through that 1/4 inch slit there. But as long as it's under 1/4 inch thick, and this butterfly stamp will get you another ounce. So it just gets you an ounce like the Forever stamp. You can load up that envelope. And again, if you get a little over an ounce, you can add one of these additional ounce stamps. Because you have this butterfly stamp, it's not going to go through the machine. So it is okay to put one of these with it to mail something. So if people do purchase from me at an event, I will send them a thank you note. I'll send them a scent circle. I'll send them an insert on the club. If they are new, they will also get my newsletter and then the brochure of the scent and warmer of the month. and a scented sticker. So that is what I will send to everybody that purchases from me at a vendor event. And it uses a non-machinery stamp. If they don't purchase from me, I'm still going to send them all of the stuff but this, and I'm going to send it with a forever stamp. That is my standard process. You do not have to do that at all. That's just what I do. I know it works, and I know it goes through without anybody telling me they had to pay more money. So same with monthly mail. My monthly mail for 3 months after a purchase, they get a forever stamp. They are going to get my newsletter. They're going to get scented sticker, maybe fun little stickers, or there was one year I did like little patriotic tattoos and stuff like that, just fun little stuff to put in there. As long as it's flat, put whatever in there. And again, it's a forever stamp. It's still better than nothing. Anything is better than nothing. If you don't have all of these inserts and stuff, yeah, that costs money to print. Go to the dollar store and get thank you cards, like what your kids would send after a birthday party to say thank you for people that came, if people even still do that anymore. I'm not even sure, but thank you cards. Get a pack of thank you cards from the Dollar Tree or Walmart and literally just open it up, write in there, sign it, put it in an envelope, and put a stamp on it. It is still better than nothing. People don't have to get products to make them feel appreciated. It is simply just that thank you that counts. So, that was my next level. Speaking of product too, I'm kind of bouncing all over, I apologize, but when it comes to scent circles that I send in the mail, I try my best to not pay out of pocket for these. If I do have to pay out of pocket, it is a tax write-off because I am marketing Scentsy and I am marketing a scent to be sent to somebody to smell to therefore hopefully get return orders. So if I do spend money, it is considered marketing as a write-off. But otherwise, I use my host rewards to get these. So I'm going to use my free and my half off credits to get these scent circles that I'm going to send to people. Again, don't use family money on Scentsy. Do what you can, work with the budget that you have, increase as your budget increases, or stay the same. Keep it simple. But again, a thank you is a thank you. And to me, I feel that is a huge thing that a lot of people don't do. So that is going to set you apart from everybody else. The next step that I'm going to go over, this is actually a newish thing that I started doing. A lot of people do online parties. In-home parties, I had quite a few for a while, and then they've really just kind of fizzled out. I haven't had any in-home parties, which stinks because those are my favorite. But Facebook parties are a thing that people love to do, especially after COVID. Some of them are amazing. Some of them are flops. It's really no right or wrong way that you can tell. But there is one thing that I have started doing that I have seen really make a big improvement in my Facebook parties. With Scentsy, you got to smell things. It is hard to go off a description and know whether or not you're going to like something. There are certain smells like cotton candy tails that don't smell like the description, at least to me. But heck, somebody else may smell it and they may think it smells like cotton candy. So long story short, smelling sells. Smell before you sell type sort of mojo. Anyway, so I started these things called party packs when I do Facebook parties. Not everybody gets them. You have to request them. So they have to request them by filling out a form that I have provided to them. And I provide multiple times through the party for them to sign up and to get this. It is no cost to them. I would say probably 8 out of 10 end up purchasing something. So it actually does work for me. At least it does come back and it does bring revenue to me. But again, this is something that I provide at no cost to them. And this is what I call a party pack. And I'm going to go over what I put in there and the cost of the stamp. So I use one of these 6x9 poly mailers. It is flat. It is not the Mylar ones that have like the resealable thing on them. So it's not going to be these guys that have this. When I took this into my local post office, the lady said that this does not count as a large envelope. So I myself have gone to these poly mailers. They're flat, they're simple, they're lightweight. You can get a bunch of these on Amazon super cheap. So I take a poly mailer, 6x9. I put in a catalog, which catalog is probably overkill. So the catalog sheets that you get a ton of and you can get a ton of for cheap, that would probably just be as sufficient. But for now, I have been doing a catalog in there with it. Has my information on it. Anything you give to anybody, put your information on it. Spam yourself around. Don't give somebody else money because somebody else will take that money. So I put my information on it. I put a catalog in there. So that is going to go in the envelope. I take my newsletter that I make once a month and I put that in there. You do not have to do a newsletter either. I do, but just because I do doesn't mean you have to. So I put my newsletter in there. Currently I have a summer collection brochure that I made. Thanks and kudos to the other Scentsy consultants and sharing everything that they make because they're absolutely amazing. And again, this right here has my information on it. So I stick this in there because this is all stuff that's not in the catalog right now, but for them to see, and it has scent descriptions, all of that good stuff. I put in there the scent and warmer of the month brochure. And I also will put a rub and sniff sticker of the scent of the month. So that's going to go in there and there's one scent circle. I have a little piece of paper here that I printed off my computer that basically just says, thanks for your party pack request. Let me know if you have any questions, blah, blah, blah. Has my QR code again on it. That's going to go in there. I put an insert on the Scentsy Club in there. So that is going to go in there to let people know about the Scentsy Club and the options with that. If they express interest in joining, one of the questions I have on the form that they fill out, ask them if they have any interest in joining. I'll put a join pamphlet in there or insert in there. Put a little wish list. You can get these in the consultant stores too. Again, you don't have to do this. This is just what I do. Again, kudos to those Scentsy girls that are Canva amazing heroes. I put a trifold in here that has pictures that I put in there. It's got my information on here, and it basically just has a little bit of like literally everything Scentsy wise in here, but it has it in my style wording and my style pictures. So I put this in there, and then comes the last thing that I put in there, and this is an insert that I put scented stickers on. So when they fill out that specific form for a Facebook party and a request for a party pack, I have them put on there what smells they like. Do they like floral, fresh, fruity, bakery, whatever they like, and then I will put those corresponding smells on here. If they express interest in cleaning, I'll write next to a scented sticker and say available in cleaning too. Same with laundry. I have an oil insert that I'll do, and I can put my rub and sniff stickers of oils on there as well. This is what is going to get people to know what things smell like and to bring them back to you. So literally, if you even do a party pack, if you're like, that's a great idea, but I don't want to do that much of it, take a number 10 envelope, cut up a piece of regular paper, cut it into 3. Don't write anything on it. Maybe just write your name and your phone number. You don't have to do anything pretty with it or anything. Take a regular piece of white paper, cut it into 3, write your name and your phone number, and then put your scented stickers on it. Put it in the mail with the number 10 envelope. That's going to ship with a forever stamp. Send a postcard, put a couple of rub and sniff stickers on there. Do whatever you can do budget wise if this is something that you want to do. But this party pack has helped me tremendously with getting sales on the Facebook parties. So all of this here is just over 5 ounces. So it's about 5.2 ounces. I went to my post office and I was able to print off prepaid stamps. So anything that is over 5 ounces, less than 6 ounces in a 6x9 large envelope is going to cost you $2.55 to mail. That is, like I said, I'm getting up there as far as cost goes, but that is how much that costs. Typically, my party packs don't have the trifold for the summer collection, and they maybe don't have all of that stuff in there. So my typical party pack is under 5 ounces, and it will cost me $2.35. But here recently, I've been at that $2.55 mark. You could put scent circles in there and send it just the same way. Just keep in mind, scent circles are going to really beef up the cost. And also keep in mind, are you going to be getting that back financially to put the scent circle in there, if that makes sense? Do what works best for you and your budget. But my party pack for this cost me $2.55 this month. This could even be thank you mail. If you wanted to do something more than a standard forever stamp or non-machinery stamp, but you didn't want to go full-blown big mailer or anything, you could send quite a bit in these kinds of envelopes, like quite a bit for pretty cheap. So this is my party pack. And again, that one is just under $3. My big mail that I do, I only send this to people after they order on my website or if they are in my club. My big mail that I do uses the resealable Mylar envelopes. These, again, you cannot use regular stamps. You cannot classify this as a large envelope because it is thicker, it's a different material, and it's the Mylar envelope. So in my opinion, if you're going to spend the money on this, you might as well fill it up and stuff it up and send it with what you can. So these are what I do a thank you letter in. I put a scent circle in there. I put my wax samples in there. So when I cut up wax cubes, these are what's going to go in those Mylar bags. You can buy the body collection in little samples. So if you wanted to, you could send like some hand soap or hand lotion, any of that stuff in there, depending on what they're spending. Again, keep in mind your budget and whatnot. But with the Mylar envelope, sky's really your limit on that one. I have Airheads. I love sending candy. So these are the types of Happy Mail that I load up with candy and stuff. This month, I have little 4th of July scrunchies I got in bulk online for pretty cheap. It's June, but with it being the July kind of themed scent and warmer of the month, I have red, white, and blue bracelets. Again, I got these super cheap online in bulk, so I'll put 1 or 2 of those in there. I fill it up with samples. I write down what samples I sent them, because it never fails. The time that you don't write down what you sent them, they're going to write you back and say, hey, yeah, I like this one. It was blue. I don't know what it was called, though. I threw away the wrapper. Yeah, so just write it down. Save yourself the struggle. Learn from my mistakes and write it down. But these guys, when filled up, again, depending on where you're sending it to, I ship all of these through Pirate Ship. It's a lot cheaper than taking it to the post office and getting a stamp that way. But with Pirate Ship, I send these out and they range anywhere between $3 to $5. So they are more than this. But because of that, I'm able to put actual wax cube samples in there, and I'm really able to load it up with whatever funky thickness or whatever that I want. So those are my different things. Again, there is no right or wrong way. Any follow-up that you do, whether it is a postcard, it is a scented sticker, it's a forever stamp, a machinery stamp, whatever you do, you have to follow up on though. So how I squeeze that in is when I check to see if they loved their order that they got and received, I say, hey, did you also get the Happy Mail that I sent? What did you think of it? Something simple like that. Most of the time when you're like writing to people and asking them how they liked something free you gave them, most of the time they write back. So most of the time. But always follow up with it, squeeze it in what you can. Again, follow-ups are key, but there is no wrong way to do a follow-up. The only wrong way to do a follow-up is to not do one at all. So I hope that helps you guys to see the different ways that you could do it with different budgets. Work with what you have. It does not have to be anything fancy. It does not have to be anything pretty. You can look on YouTube all day and see all these different things that people do, but what it boils down to is do what you can do. If you're doing more than you can do, odds are you're going to burn out really quick and you're going to be upside down, and you don't want that. This is supposed to be something fun to do, and it's supposed to be an income for you, not the other way around. If you guys have any questions on anything, make sure to let me know. I'm here to help you in any way that you can. Thank you guys for all that you do. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out. Thanks, guys.